Welcome to our channel HD Rare Coin 111, your go-to spot for uncovering the incredible world of rare US coins. If you've ever wondered if your old pennies, nickels, or dimes are worth more than face value, you're about to find out. In today's video, we'll be exploring some truly rare coins and their shocking values. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. So let's jump in. Top 1. Today, we're going to dive into the fascinating world of coin collecting and talk about one of the most sought-after pennies in American history, the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny. At first glance, a penny might seem like just a small, insignificant piece of currency. After all, it's just a cent, right? But in the world of coin collectors, certain pennies are far more than their face value. Some have histories, stories, and rare features that make them incredibly valuable to those who are lucky enough to own one. The 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny is one such coin that can make any collector's heart race. Now, you might be wondering, what makes the 1953 Wheat Penny so special? Well, let's start with the basics. The Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted in the United States from 1909 to 1958. It was designed by Victor David Brenner, and the reverse side of the coin features two stalks of wheat, hence the name, Wheat Penny. The front showcases Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, who was honored for his role in leading the nation during the Civil War and for his stance on ending slavery. But what makes the 1953 version stand out among all the wheat pennies is its rarity and its condition. Many of these coins were produced, but over time, most of them were spent, lost, or damaged. Coins that remain in pristine condition are hard to come by. That's why the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny, in mint condition or with unique features, can be worth a lot of money. One key factor that determines the value of a coin is its rarity. The 1953 Wheat Penny was minted in relatively large numbers, around 378 million of them. But what's truly significant is the condition of the coin and whether it has any rare variations. Coins that have minimal wear, clear details, and are free from blemishes are more valuable than those that are worn down with scratches or discoloration. In particular, uncirculated 1953 pennies that are graded high on the coin grading scale can fetch a pretty penny. Another major factor is the possibility of error coins. Sometimes, during the minting process, a coin can be struck incorrectly, which can result in valuable varieties. For instance, a 1953 penny with a double die or a missing mint mark could make it incredibly rare and much more valuable to collectors. If you have a 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny in your collection, it's important to take note of the condition it's in and whether it has any distinguishing features. Some coins might have minor imperfections that still don't take away from their value, while others with major errors could command impressive sums of money. As with most rare collectibles, buyers are often willing to pay a premium for these rare finds, especially if the coin has been well preserved. Now, let's talk numbers. You might be wondering, how much could a 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny really be worth? If you're lucky enough to have an uncirculated, high-grade 1953 penny, or perhaps one with a rare error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. The value can vary depending on factors such as the coin's condition, rarity, and any potential errors, but there are some examples of 1953 pennies being sold for tens of thousands of dollars. If you're curious about the actual price, there have been reports of certain 1953 Lincoln Wheat pennies being sold for a staggering $95,000. Yes, you heard that right, $95,000. That's a lot of money for a coin that was once just a penny in your pocket. Of course, not every 1953 penny will reach this price, but with the right condition and a rare feature, your penny could certainly fetch a hefty sum. If you happen to stumble upon a 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny in your coin collection or in your change jar, make sure to give it a closer look. It could be worth far more than you realize. If you have one, or if you're just starting out with coin collecting, it's always a good idea to have your coins appraised by a professional to understand their true value. You never know what hidden treasures are waiting to be discovered. Thanks for joining us today as we explored the fascinating story behind the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more exciting content about rare coins, collectibles, and more. Happy collecting! Top 2. We're diving into the world of rare and valuable coins, and there's one in particular that has intrigued collectors and history enthusiasts alike. The 1945 Lincoln Wheat penny. At first glance, a penny might seem like just a small, insignificant piece of change, something we toss around without much thought. But in the realm of coin collecting, certain pennies have the power to turn heads and capture attention for their rarity, history, and value. The 1945 Lincoln Wheat penny is one such coin. While it may look like a typical penny, it holds a special place in the hearts of collectors, and for good reason. Let's take a step back and understand why this penny, minted in 1945, is so sought after. The Lincoln Wheat penny was first introduced in 1909, and it was minted in the United States all the way up until 1958. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the front of the coin features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse side displays two stalks of wheat, hence the name, Wheat Penny. Now you might be asking, what makes the 1945 version of this penny so interesting? Well, for one, 1945 was a significant year in American history. It marked the end of World War II, a time when the country was transitioning from wartime production to peacetime industries. The 1945 Lincoln Wheat penny was minted at a time of economic change, and its role in history only adds to its allure. But what truly makes the 1945 Wheat penny stand out in the world of coin collecting? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and special features. While many 1945 pennies were produced, there were over 1 billion minted. They were also used and circulated widely. Over time, most of these pennies became worn, damaged, or lost, which means that finding one in excellent condition today is a real treasure. The condition of the coin is the key factor in determining its value. Most 1945 pennies have been through years of circulation, and their details have faded. However, there are a select few that have been well preserved, remaining in near-perfect condition, and these are the ones that can command impressive prices. These coins are considered high-grade and are highly valued by collectors. Another element to look out for with the 1945 Lincoln Wheat penny is the possibility of error coins. Sometimes, during the minting process, a coin can be struck incorrectly, creating unique varieties that are much rarer than their regular counterparts. For example, a double die error or an unusual misstrike can make a coin significantly more valuable. Collectors are always on the lookout for such imperfections, as these errors can elevate the value of an otherwise ordinary coin to an extraordinary amount. If you happen to own a 1945 Lincoln Wheat penny, it's essential to examine it carefully. Pay close attention to the condition of the coin, looking for any wear or damage. If it appears to be in excellent condition with crisp, clear details, it may very well be worth more than just a few cents. And if the coin has any unusual characteristics, such as a minting error or a variety, then it could be a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. Now, let's get to the most exciting part: the value of this penny. While most 1945 Lincoln Wheat pennies are worth just a few cents, those that are in pristine condition, or have unique errors, can be worth a small fortune. In fact, some collectors have paid astonishing amounts for the rarest of these coins. In recent years, high-grade 1945 Wheat pennies have been known to sell for up to $125,000. Yes, you read that right, $125,000. While not every 1945 penny will fetch such a high price, it's clear that there is significant value in these rare and well-preserved coins. So, if you happen to come across one of these coins in your collection or in your change, make sure to take a closer look. It might just be more valuable than you think. For anyone interested in coin collecting, the 1945 Lincoln Wheat penny serves as a reminder that even the smallest coins can hold enormous value. The next time you're sorting through your spare change, keep an eye out for this little gem. You never know when you might find a coin that could be worth far more than its face value. Top 3. We're going to talk about a coin that has captured the attention of collectors for decades: the 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny. While pennies might seem like a dime a dozen, there's a whole world of rare and valuable coins hiding in plain sight, and the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a perfect example. The Lincoln Wheat Penny, first minted in 1909, was a staple of American currency for almost half a century. Designed by the talented Victor David Brenner, the coin featured the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, on the obverse. On the reverse, you'd find 2 stalks of wheat, which gave the coin its wheat nickname. Though the coin was in circulation for many years, certain years, like the 1957, have become incredibly desirable in the world of coin collectors. So, why exactly does the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny deserve such attention? To begin with, let's take a look at the context of its minting. By the time 1957 came around, the United States had already undergone major social and economic changes. World War II had ended more than a decade earlier, and the nation was transitioning into a new era of prosperity. The Lincoln Wheat Penny was still a vital part of everyday transactions, but it was beginning to make its way out of circulation as the country moved toward a new series of coins. However, not all of these 1957 pennies were destined to be lost, damaged, or forgotten. A few of them have survived the test of time, remaining in excellent condition. And when a coin is well preserved, it can become incredibly valuable. One of the main reasons the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny is so valuable to collectors is its rarity and high-grade condition. While millions of these pennies were minted, in fact, over 1 billion, the reality is that most of them circulated through the economy for years. Over time, many became worn down from constant use. Most of these pennies are now heavily circulated and carry little value beyond their face value of 1 cent. But if you manage to find a 1957 penny that has been well preserved and is in uncirculated condition, you could have something much more special on your hands. The quality of the coin is one of the biggest factors determining its worth. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers signifying better preservation. A 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny that is in pristine, mint condition can fetch a much higher price than one that has been worn down through circulation. This is where collectors start to get excited. High-grade, uncirculated 1957 pennies are rare, and they're incredibly sought after. These coins often feature sharp details, clean surfaces, and vibrant color that make them stand out from the crowd. Another reason the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny is so valuable is the presence of error varieties. Minting errors, though rare, do happen from time to time, and they can make a coin significantly more valuable. For example, a 1957 penny with a double die error, where the image is struck twice, causing a blurry, distorted effect, or a rare misstrike can make that coin worth far more than a regular penny. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for these types of errors, as they can make an otherwise ordinary coin extraordinarily valuable. It's also important to note that the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny was one of the last to be produced before the U.S. Mint switched to the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. As the end of the Wheat Penny era, it has a certain nostalgic appeal for collectors, making it a key coin in the series. Many collectors actively seek out the final years of the Wheat Penny series, with the 1957 being one of the most coveted. Now, you might be wondering, how much could a 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny actually be worth? If you're lucky enough to find one in exceptional condition or with a unique error, the price could be astronomical. In fact, some 1957 Lincoln Wheat Pennies have sold for as much as $87,000. Yes, you read that right, $87,000. Of course, not every 1957 penny is going to be worth that much. But if you have a rare, high-grade, or error coin, you could be sitting on a small fortune. It's always a good idea to have your coins appraised by a professional if you suspect you might have something valuable. A simple penny could be hiding a much higher value than you ever expected, and it could be the key to unlocking a great investment. So, the next time you come across a 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. Check its condition. Search for any signs of rarity, and consider getting it graded by a professional. Whether you're an experienced coin collector or just starting out, this little piece of history could be worth far more than you think. Top 4. We're going to take a deep dive into one of the most fascinating and highly sought after coins in the world of numismatics, the 1954 Lincoln Wheat Penny. If you're a collector or just someone curious about rare coins, this one's for you. Most of us have encountered a penny in our lifetime. Whether it's sitting in the bottom of your pocket, tossed into a jar, or spent on a small purchase, the humble penny often seems like a small and insignificant piece of change. But when you start diving into the world of coin collecting, you'll quickly realize that some pennies are far from ordinary. One of those is the 1954 Lincoln Wheat Penny. The Lincoln Wheat Penny, which was first minted in 1909, features a design that remains iconic to this day. On the obverse, you have the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. On the reverse, you'll see two stalks of wheat, which gives the coin its wheat penny name. For decades, this penny circulated as a part of everyday life in America. However, over time, certain years of the Lincoln Wheat Penny series, like the 1954, have captured the attention of collectors due to their rarity, condition, and potential for extraordinary value. Now, let's talk about the 1954 Lincoln Wheat Penny and why it's so special. In 1954, the United States was still in the post-World War II era, enjoying the prosperity of the 1950s. While the country had moved into a new era, the penny, despite being largely overlooked by the general public, was still a vital part of daily transactions. But what really sets the 1954 penny apart is its rarity, especially in high-grade condition. You see, while millions of 1954 pennies were minted, nearly 1 billion to be exact, many of these coins circulated through the economy and suffered from the wear and tear of daily use. Because of this, most 1954 Lincoln Wheat pennies are found in well-worn condition, making those in pristine or near-mint condition highly sought after by collectors. Coins that have been preserved through the years, without much wear, can demand a hefty price in the numismatic world. Now, what really makes a 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny valuable? It all comes down to the condition and the rarity of specific coins. Many of these pennies were worn down as they passed through people's hands over the years. But when you find a 1954 penny that has been well preserved, one with sharp, clean details and minimal wear, you've got a coin that can be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. These coins are considered to be in high-grade condition, and they are the ones that can command significant sums of money. The other important factor to consider when evaluating the value of a 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny is the possibility of errors or unique variations. Minting errors are relatively rare, but when they occur, they can make a coin much more valuable. For instance, a 1954 penny with a double die error, where the image has been struck twice and created a blurry or ghost-like effect, is worth far more than a regular penny. Similarly, coins with other minting flaws, such as misstrikes or missing mint marks, can make them highly desirable to collectors. If you have a 1954 penny with one of these error features, it could be worth a lot more than you might imagine. While the 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny might not be the rarest or most valuable penny in the series, it still holds a significant place in the world of coin collecting. But how much is it really worth? Well, that depends on the condition, rarity, and any potential errors that might be present. But some high-grade 1954 Lincoln Wheat pennies have been known to sell for astounding amounts. For example, a particularly well-preserved or error-laden 1954 penny could fetch as much as $92,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $92,000. Now, of course, not every 1954 penny is going to be worth that much, but the potential for such a high-value coin is certainly out there. Coins that are in mint or near-mint condition, or those with rare errors, can sometimes skyrocket in price at auction or private sales. If you're lucky enough to find a 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny that's in pristine condition or has a rare minting flaw, you could be holding on to a small fortune. This is the beauty of coin collecting. It's not just about the coins you find, but about the thrill of the hunt and the potential for discovering a hidden gem. And when you find something truly rare, the reward can be incredible. So, what should you do if you come across a 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny in your collection or in your spare change? First, take a good look at the coin's condition. Is it shiny and new-looking, Or is it worn and discolored? If it's in great shape, it could be worth much more than its face value. And if you suspect that it might be a rare error coin, it's worth getting it professionally appraised to determine its true value. In conclusion, the 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny is more than just a relic of the past. It's a coin with a rich history and the potential for significant financial value. So, keep an eye out for this iconic coin, and you may just stumble upon a treasure that could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Thanks for watching today's video. We hope this deep dive into the 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny has inspired you to take a closer look at your coin collection. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more exciting content on rare coins, valuable collectibles, and much more. Happy collecting, and good luck with your coin hunts!